All right, I want to do a quick video on the trade this morning on oil. My profit and loss down there, or my unrealized profit and loss, is not going to match the order right now because I do have some other trades on. So I'm also in Russell. That's it. The oil or Canadian dollar trade just closed out for me. So just kind of want to go over where we're at on this. So basically, I took a long here. Notice we've got 8 o'clock marked. So 8 o'clock marked here, and the power trade indicators gave several buys in here. So buy orders when things come back around. I went ahead and bought a little bit later, but I was a little late getting back to the computer from going up and grabbing another cup of coffee. So 9:18 here, I went ahead and took the buy and put my trade marker on for targets, and you know, it went up and fairly quickly, it pulled back right away to the 50% level. Stop was under that candle. I kept a tight stop on this. And then, you know, here it shot up to level 2. So as these are marked is our stop, our half stop, because typically when they move to the 1-to-1 level, or level 1 or level 2, then you would move your stop at least to the halfway point. Not really to break even, that's kind of tight. So when we come up here like this and hit level 2, I don't move to break even so quickly. A lot of times you'll get stopped out and it'll keep going. Even that being said, even moving your stop to the halfway point, sometimes it'll come back and stop you out and keep going on. That happened to me the other day. So you just have to make your rules, your decisions, and do it. So when it went to level 2, move the stop to the halfway point to cut my risk in half, my risk that I put on at the beginning, to cut it in half because it had moved. You'll see it pulled back. If I would have pulled to break even, I would have almost got stopped out, but not. So I'd still be in. It's just not something I like to do. So we bounced a couple times in here, a couple more buy signals on that pullback and bounce, and then it's moved on. So typically what I like to do is when a candle closes past a level is to move my stop. So right now I've moved my stop below this high, but just knowing that if it comes all the way back there, it may wick down. I mean, these wicks, you know, it wicked up here, so it may wick down and take me out. So I'm going to end up moving my stop now, and I just closed half the trade. So I went in kind of lightly, putting in 2 contracts, and I just closed one out here as it was up near, you know, because it almost touched level 4 here. So we're pretty extended. Price is pretty aggressive. We have that steep climb, and we just know that may not hold up and continue in that steep climb. We may get a real nice pullback off this. So that being said, plus it's also 10:40 Eastern. So that being said, you know, we're a little over an hour into the stock market as well. So we expect things to kind of turn around and settle in for the, you know, right before lunch. So I'm going to go ahead and move my stop up here. And I know I might be taken out on that. This would be a little more aggressive in a stop movement here. So I want to give it a little bit room. I'm going to leave it right there. Not much overall. Again, you'll see where this one contract here is up $70 and the price is right there. That's right around where I closed out the first one. 68. Yeah, it's not marking the end here. So, yeah, it's right around where I closed out the first one. So I got about $70 on closing half, and then this one remains to be seen. So one thing I always want to look at, should I have just closed them both out? You know, I was up about $140. So should I have just closed them both? Or is this runner actually going to bank me more money if I leave it on? Right now, the answer is no. Okay, because again, I closed one up here. So if price pulls back to take me out, I'm losing. Okay, I'm losing back some. So I'm not going to make as much on the second half of the trade if it drops back and takes me out. So the reason why I'm leaving it on, in case it does find some ground in here and then keep climbing. So if it does, and if it climbs past this level where I closed half, well, without taking me out, first, okay? So if it climbs past that level and I can move my stop at least to that level, then I'll be covered, and I could say, well, either or, I'm making the same amount of money. But ultimately, I'd love to be able to move the stop past level 4 so I can bank more money on the second half of the trade. So that remains to be seen. And that's all I wanted to cover on this one. So this is the trade on oil today. Looks like I got my stop filled on ES, so I'll have to go out and look at that. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and take time over the weekend, take a break, and relax. Before you start trading on Sunday or Monday, definitely look at your 4-hour time frames. We always go out to the 4-hour chart and look at our 4-hour support and resistance zones and 4-hour support and resistance levels. So we have 4-hour zones that are marked off the swing highs and lows off the 4-hour time frame. You need to be very aware of those when you're trading. So we draw them up on the 4-hour time frame. So when we're down here on the 3-minute trading, when they pop up, we know what they're there for. We know they're there off the 4-hour charts. We know they're 4-hour levels. So they're strong, super strong levels that we need to pay attention to. So enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you back in here Sunday.